Hi there. So I want to give you a few tips, strategies, and pointers for navigating the Salt Lake City Community College databases, which are powerful tools that can put you in touch with resources that you need, both for the report, which is your upcoming assignment, and also further assignments that you'll do down the line, both in this class and in other classes. So the library's homepage is right here. You can get there easily by Googling SLCC library as well. If you're logging in from off campus, typically when you try to access a database, you're going to need your S number and your PIN, which is usually the last four digits of your phone number. If you have trouble logging in, which happens frequently, call the library's reference desk and they'll help you reset your PIN and get things going for you. I've had a number of students who have done that. It takes, under 2 or 3 minutes, and then you're ready, set to go. Most of you, I'm guessing, because we had an issue research assignment already in this course, have been here to the databases. And if you're coming here for the first time, you'll see the homepage has this one search selected. And you can begin searching the databases simply by entering in your search terms here. One search basically searches a number of different databases that the library has access to and can be very useful, but it can also return a ton of results. And so primarily what we're thinking about in database research, depending on what you're searching for, is how we can narrow down our results. And one way to narrow down our results is to begin thinking about accessing very specific databases. And so Academic Search Premier is one of the best. You can get there by clicking on this database link, and then it's the first database in a long list of them. It's an excellent, solid, general academic research database that you can use, and some of the examples I'll be showing you in a minute are from this particular database. This handout is also on our homepage. There's a link to it so you can download it yourself, but this is made by research librarians here and highlights a number of useful databases that may come in handy both in this class and other classes for you. I just want to point to a couple of really useful ones that I think are interesting. The first is Films on Demand, which is streaming video on a variety of different subject matters. It can be nice to do some video research sometimes if you're either feeling really tired, had a long day at work, and just want to do some work and get going on your research, but maybe just want to sit back and watch a video. And then you'll know if it's useful and you can come back to it later to take notes. Opposing Viewpoints and CQ Researcher both provide collections of articles and resources on particular issues. So if you're working with a particularly controversial or hot button issue, these two can be really useful. Opposing Viewpoints in Context is my favorite because it offers a variety of different kinds of sources based on particular issues. Then finally, I just want to point to ProQuest, which allows you access to newspapers and all kinds of journalism. It can be really useful, especially starting off a report, to begin with something that's happened recently in the news, and so this would be a way to find it. You can do ProQuest searches that limit it to particular newspapers, like the Salt Lake Tribune or the Deseret News. You can limit it to only the last week, last 10 days, last year, and you can limit in all other kinds of ways as well. So it's interesting to play around with ProQuest and see what you can find. Okay, when I start doing a database search, my first step is to make a list of keywords that might be useful for me. I sit down for 2 or 3 minutes and I just try to come up with any terms I can that might take me in my general direction. So if I were working with immigration, that would be, of course, my first term, and then I'd be thinking about where I'm trying to zoom in or narrow down my topic to kind of deal with within the broader realm of immigration. So I work on another list, a list that kind of follows that. From there, I usually start, say we go to a database like Academic Search Premier, I usually start with just a big, broad, general key term, and I do a search based on that. And once I've done that, and I get my 62,000 results or whatever, then I come down here and look at my results, and I begin to look here at the subjects. When I look down here at these subjects, I can begin gleaning or picking up other keywords that I might be able to add to my list and use for a search as well. So here I see reform, here I see border security, here I see deportation. All of those can be added to my list up here, and I can begin searching with those terms in addition to immigration. So here's one thing you might do. You might take immigration and add deportation in, and that can be useful, and you'll get a different set of results, probably less. And then what you can do is continually add terms, and you can change these ands to ors. So what a search like this is going to do for me, it's going to return results about immigration, results that have the keywords immigration and reform in them, and also results that have the keywords immigration and illegal in them. So I'm essentially getting two different sets of results when I do this kind of search because I've chosen or. You can also limit your search to full text only. I recommend doing this all the time so you have all those options available to you, and also to scholarly or peer-reviewed journals, which basically come from journals in which other experts in the field have looked over this material and decided that the writer has done their homework and they can go ahead and publish it. So there's a sense that you can develop and reinforce your ethos, your credibility in a paper by using scholarly and peer-reviewed sources. Other ways to limit. This left-hand menu over here on this side is really all about limiting and refining your results. So if you don't check those things on the first go, you can check all three of these if you so desire. This bar allows you to limit the publication date, which is super useful. I don't need to know about immigration policy in 1892, so I would drag this all the way up to 2010 and see just the last 5 years. Depending on your subject, it may be you may want to only limit to the last couple of years, or you may be able to have a little bit of a broader range depending on what you're looking for and how recent your subject is. I recommend trying a few different ranges to see what you come up with. You can also limit by source type by picking one of these different sources. You can, it's inclusive, so you can pick a number of different kinds or exclude as many as you want to. And then you can also limit using these tools right here. Subject is really useful because it comes up with different terms that are similar to your search term. And so clicking on these various ones and seeing what their options are, because they differ based on what search you've done, can also allow you to limit down and narrow your searches. Just want to show you a couple more things. The first is that once you've done a particular search and you get to a page like this, you can click on a source and read the abstract or the summary to know where you want to kind of go with it or decide whether you want to use it or not. And then you'll have this list of tools over here on the right-hand side, and those can also be super useful. If you click on the citation tool right here, you'll get a list of different ways to cite your work in a works cited page based on what system you're using. The default in this class is MLA, but you're welcome to use APA or Chicago if that's more in line with your topic or the sources you're using. You can also click email to email the source, and if it's full text, it'll send you that as an attachment. You can click permalink and get a link to this particular citation within the database if you want to, or a link to this page is essentially where it will take you. But my recommendation is if you are able to download a source when you find it, go ahead and try to download that source immediately. If it's only available as HTML, copy and paste it into a Word doc, and that can be really useful for you as well. It's useful to have the source on you in a folder set aside so that you don't have to come back and try to find that source again. You can waste a ton of time just trying to re-find a source. So make your work here count, I think, by saving those sources and the full text of those sources immediately, if you can, if you think the source shows promise. Okay, so for you guys working at home, in order to get credit for this lab session, you finish watching this video. Now all I'd like you to do is just take 5 or 10 minutes to search the databases for one of these types of sources, and then send me the MLA citation for that source in a response to this email that you got this video in. So basically just find the MLA citation for either a scholarly peer-reviewed source using the Academic Search Premier database, a journalism source using the ProQuest database, or a streaming film using the Films on Demand database. And just come back and send that information to me, and then I will give you credit for this lab session. All right, guys, have a great week.